Hello people, I am Jaby Koay, joined by KIRK and SYNTELL Koay.
What's up?
So this is the non-spoiler review for Ready Player One. No spoilers, but given that it's a review, we're gonna give little tiny things away, but nothing that's gonna ruin the story by any means. Thanks to Real D3D and of course Stardust. Thank you so much Stardust for getting us into the screening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So right off the bat, I wanna say you guys really need to watch this movie. It is amazing. Straight away, I'm gonna tell you, I'd give it 5 out of 5 stars. It's not perfect, but damn near it, man. Just damn near it.
Yeah, it was really surprising to see Spielberg back in his fold, back in his comfort zone of really good storytelling. Epic moments, characters that you really want to root for. I've missed this Spielberg.
Yeah.
You know, there's elements of it like some of the E.T. elements of you rooting for the small guy in order for them to overcome. If you're missing that, and you want that good 80s kind of feel of nostalgia, besides just the 80s references, and there are a ton of them. But if you want that nostalgic kind of feel, Ready Player One delivered.
So there's some really great action CGI sequences that were so thrilling, and if you get the chance to watch it in 3D, I definitely recommend it. It's like the perfect movie for that. I had so much fun. I want to watch it again.
Yeah, so for me, one of my apprehensions going into the movie was how much of the world was gonna be CG, like how much of the movie was gonna be CG, and I was like, well, this is a CG movie, like, how am I gonna be invested in the film? And the more interesting part of the film was the CG for me.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like I'm really invested in these animated characters and what they're going through, even though they're avatars of the real world people. I love them and I really enjoy them.
I was really surprised at the sheer amount of CG that was going to be in it. I mean, maybe it's like a 50-50 split between what you see in the real world and your time that you're in the CG world. In my head, I was like, yeah, maybe it'll be like a quarter of it, and then the rest of it's gonna be live action, and then we might drop in from time to time. It was a surprisingly large amount of CG. With that being said, the CG was quality. It looked really crisp and clear. It was about on the level of some of the higher end video games that we're playing today. Also, this isn't a spoiler by any means, but it did a very good job on touching on a lot of different genres within the video game world.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I don't want to say too much without giving it away, but you will be happily surprised that they did each genre a good justice.
Yeah, well, it's one of the rare instances where I watched a movie and was literally being vocal in the theater, like shouting and just sheer utter joy, because the nostalgia just hit me so well. Like, it was all these perfectly planned moments. I'm like, oh yes, it's just like over and over. I was just smiling so much while watching this movie. I couldn't believe it.
And it was so fun as well because of the crowd that we were watching it with. It was a bunch of YouTubers, big fans, and it was just exciting for me to be around people who like really enjoyed the references as well. And like you were so vocal, and like everyone around us was clapping and cheering. It was a blast.
I felt good right from the time it said Amblin Entertainment at the top. Like, I just had a good feeling about the movie. I was just like, yeah, I think I'm in for a good surprise here. And it was like one surprise after another all throughout the movie, almost to like the very, very end.
Yes.
It held together really, really well.
And it wasn't just a spectacle either, because it had a really solid story and it had a really great message as well. Because, am I allowed to say what the message is?
No, but it had good messages. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it definitely had good messages. So it wasn't just like, oh, check out the cool CGI and visual effects. It was like, no, it actually touches you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the references, I can't go into this enough. You're probably going to hear a lot about a lot of 80s references, and it is tons of them. But there are peaks of references that are back in the 70s. We got some good references that are in the 90s, and all of them have a very strong nostalgic feel, and I promise you, you're going to spend a good amount of time looking for all of these little Easter eggs that are going to be scattered around to see what your favorite reference is. And when you leave the theater after watching it with a friend, you're going to have a checklist of what some of your favorites were, and you're going to be comparing them.
Back to what you were saying earlier, I am so happy that Spielberg has this comeback film, because the action is actually extremely well done. This is the most happy I've been watching CGI action since like Final Fantasy Advent Children. Like you said, it's more than a spectacle, but the spectacle was fucking amazing. It was just like so beautiful. The camera moving with the action, like you literally felt like you were part of the action. You were immersed in it in such a visceral way that is unlike most films you see today. Most films, the action is just obscure and you can't see what's happening. It's hard to appreciate. Here you are able to appreciate every goddamn frame. It was beautiful.
Yeah, stunning.
I guess the acting was great. I mean,
Yeah.
everything was cool. The music.
Oh,
my God.
yes.
The music.
Music.
Yeah.
Yes.
From the beginning, the
It's-
very first song they played, I was just like, yeah.
Yeah. It's almost a character in itself. You're trying to remember, like, what was I doing when that particular track came out?
Yeah.
It just keeps you pumping. There's not a whole lot of lulls that go on. I mean, once you kind of like turn the power button on, you know, you're in for the ride.
Yeah.
It keeps that pace up until the very end.
I think we've said enough. You guys, if you haven't heard enough reasons to watch the movie, go watch the movie. Trust, it is probably one of the best movies you'll see all year long, and it's a great way to start off 2018, that's
Oh,
for sure.
yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
like love it. So you guys, that's it for now. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thank you again to Stardust. Thank you again to Real D 3D, loved it. And I loved watching it in 3D. You guys gotta watch it in 3D.
Yeah.
So that's it, I'm Jaby Koay, this is
ACHARA.
and
It's your boy.
peace out.